Hey, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm taking you in the garden and sharing a cozy, productive day at home in the house, just kind of reimagining our spaces. I've also been taking those master classes and learning a lot of new techniques, so I'm cooking and baking a lot and just really enjoying myself. I'm also very inspired by the seasons and what's growing in the garden and what's available. So today I'm harvesting from the garden, I'm reorganizing the kitchen, I'm making a beautiful tagine dinner and also a peach galette. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the video, and let's jump right in. I want to talk a little bit about menu planning. I know everybody does this a little bit differently, but I do basically take inventory of everything that we have, what's growing in the garden, and try to find inspiration from what we have and create meals around that. As I've shared in my routine videos, I am a list maker. So every day I make a list of tasks that I want to accomplish for the day. I always have so much going on in my brain at any given time, it's very important for me to get it on paper. And as of lately, I've actually just been writing out a menu for our family as well. I'll usually do this ahead of time based on what we have available in our cabinet, in our refrigerator, and also in our case, what we have growing in the garden. The ultimate goal is to just try to be efficient and less wasteful, so we also find ways to preserve what we have in the garden, and I'll be talking a little bit more about that as we move into fall and the winter months. This is my journal, which has all of my goals and notes. I put the date, and then I put menu, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Try to think about what we can use, what we have, and what type of meals we can have. Sometimes we have more simple meals, and sometimes it's a little bit more extravagant. And then I also put a few tasks that I want to accomplish in the day on my task list. So that I can just kind of check those off as I go. So I have about 4 or 5 today, in addition to kind of like my normal everyday routine. I have tasks that I add that aren't necessarily everyday. Today we are heading into the garden this morning just to check what we have. We have a lot of cantaloupe. We have cucumber, tomatoes, zucchini, which I love to put in the dog food as well because I make homemade dog food. This time of the year, we usually have a ton of watermelon and cantaloupe just coming out of our ears. We also have a few apples that are starting to pop up, which is very exciting. It's the first from our fruit trees that we planted when we first moved here. We have some grapes. Did I say berries already? Yeah, berries. Just lots of goodness in the garden, and we all always get very excited to come and see every day what we have. We recently added some silky chickens to our flock. They are absolutely adorable, and we are working on building some more infrastructure for the animals, but also a greenhouse. So I'll be sharing more of that in the coming weeks as well, because that's ramping up as we start to think about the fall garden coming up here in August. It's time to plant. And then look at these beautiful zinnias. I absolutely love the zinnias growing in the wildflower garden. And I love to pick what we're growing in the flower garden as well and just bring that inside. It's so colorful and beautiful and inspiring. In the summer, we all love going out into the garden in the morning and seeing what beautiful gems we have to enjoy for the day. So that's always a really exciting part of the summer months that we love and that we miss when it's gone. I usually bring everything that we harvest to the wash station that my husband built. So beautiful and so handy to have. A few days prior on my task list, I had to cut back my hollyhocks. I left them out to dry out a bit, and then today on my task list, I wanted to harvest the seeds. You may have seen the hollyhocks on my channel before. They are a classic cottage garden staple. They bloom midsummer with numerous flowers. They grow really tall and they were just beautiful in front of our home, but they were starting to die and I did need to cut them back. Hollyhocks yield so many seeds, and I like to challenge myself to see how many I can collect. These do tend to come back year after year because they reseed themselves, but I love to save seeds. Not only do I find seeds beyond fascinating, they all look different, they all have different structure. Sometimes I'll even look at them in my son's microscope. I find them so fascinating. They also make fantastic gifts. I love to gift seeds to family and friends. It's something that you can easily bring with you to a housewarming or if you're visiting somebody. So now I'm going to bring everything inside that we found in the garden. I'm going to create a little bouquet with the flowers, and then I'm going to start prepping what we harvested from the garden. And if we're not going to consume it today, I try to prep and prepare to have it throughout the week. Especially more recently in our gardening journey, after we harvest what we have in the garden, we try to do some sort of kitchen prep. So we prepare the fruits and veggies ahead of time so that they're easy to grab and also use in recipes as well. So I usually will try to store some of it in the refrigerator for later in the week, but I also like to slice the cantaloupe. I do save the seeds, same with the watermelon or anything that we're harvesting. I do try to save some of the seeds, same as with the flowers for us, but also to share. Every few days we have 1 or 2 cantaloupe to harvest, so I like to slice it and enjoy it with breakfast or just have slices available for my kids to grab and go. Also the same with the veggies. I do like to kind of prep and have them so that we can either add them to salads or meals, but also they're really easy to grab and enjoy throughout the day. Lately, as a part of our kitchen prep, I boil 6 eggs once a week for 8 minutes, and then I put them right away into an ice-cold bath. I peel them and I put them in a glass bowl, I cover them, and I store them for up to a week in the refrigerator. That makes a great quick on-the-go breakfast. I love to do kind of like that protein box from Starbucks where you do apples with peanut butter, a boiled egg, some cheese, some grapes, and that's a quick on the go. So I love to have those types of things available for us all to reach for if we're feeling hungry or we need a snack or a quick on the go meal. The dried goods cabinet was kind of a mess, so I wanted to rearrange. I got these beautiful glass containers from Amazon. I actually ended up ordering 6. I'm going to fill these up with flour, rice, and some of the other dried goods. I'm going to label them, and then I'm going to put them on our open shelving just to display them. After I got a few of the things on my task list done today, I'm going to start prepping dinner. Tonight I'm making chicken in the tagine. I'm going to start by seasoning with salt and pepper, and then I'm going to put a little bit of oil in the tagine and gently brown the chicken. I'm going to remove the chicken and put that onto a tray, and then I'm going to add mirepoix to the tagine. Mirepoix is just a combination of chopped celery, onion, and carrots. I have a beautiful medley of herbs from the garden, and also I'm going to put some garlic in here as well. Now this is really for aromatic purposes, so I'm going to go ahead and put just all the garlic in there, everything attached, not worried about peeling and chopping. And then I'm going to add some tomatoes in tomato sauce on top. I'm just going to kind of gently squeeze those with my hands and create a bed to put the chicken on top of. Then I'm going to cover this with some veggie stock. That was also on my task list today, and part of the prep for the kitchen was just to make a fresh batch of veggie stock and also store some for later. So I'm going to use some of that and just cover it and then put the top of the tagine on and let that cook for a little bit. All of my recipes from now on will be on racheltalbott.com, so if there's a specific recipe that kind of stands out to you and you want to find it, they will be available there. We have a lot of peaches right now, so I'm going to make a beautiful peach galette. One of my favorite female chefs is Alice Waters. I love her cookbooks. She has a great restaurant called Chez Panisse in California, which I have sadly never been to. However, I follow on social media, and they make these beautiful seasonal galettes, and I've been wanting to make one for a while, and since I have a lot of peaches, I didn't want them to go to waste, and I've been really wanting to make one of these. So I went ahead and made the dough the day before, along with some other bread doughs. I did a whole prep the day before, so I made challah dough and challah bread, sourdough bread, and pastry dough. So I have the dough, it's been refrigerating overnight, and then I'm also going to make the filling, lemon zest, sugar, some cinnamon. I'm going to roll out the dough into a circle. Now these galettes are usually pretty rustic looking, so I don't worry about it looking perfect. I kind of love that they're rustic, but I am going to roll it out so it's even thickness all around. Using the rolling pin, I'm going to gently move that off the floured surface onto my baking sheet. I'm going to be really careful while I do this so that I don't break the dough. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little circle, kind of like a bed that the peaches are going to go on top of the sugar mixture. So I've already removed the pit and sliced the peaches, and I'm just going to gently fan those out on top of my bed of sugar. They will flatten out a little bit as they bake, and even it'll start to kind of like ooze yummy juice and everything. But I'm going to just gently arrange them so that it looks pretty. I'll put a little bit more sugar on top. I don't add all of the sugar, but you certainly can. I prefer it a little bit more tart than overly sweet. And I'm just going to start folding the edges of the pastry dough to cover part of the peaches so that it has that traditional galette appearance that we're looking for. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect, and if you have to trim part of the pastry dough so that it's more even. And then I'm going to bake it for about 25 to 35 minutes until it's golden brown. I'm going to check on my tagine. It needs a little bit longer. I'm going to start some rice, and I'm also going to make some green beans. And then I'm going to check off on my list everything that I was able to accomplish today. Today was a big kitchen garden day, so there was lots that I was able to accomplish. I took a little breather outside while everything was finishing up, and then I came inside and I plated the tagine dinner. So just some jasmine white rice, beautiful green beans, and then the tagine chicken. And then I pulled the galette from the oven, and we can have a slice with some whipped cream or ice cream, perfect for dessert, but it also is really delicious to have in the morning with a cup of coffee as well. So I wanted to share a cozy day at home with you. Just been working on some cooking and baking and in the garden, meal planning and kitchen prep. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and be sure you're subscribed to my channel for new videos every week. You can find recipes, blogs, and more on my website, which I will be posting there consistently. And yeah, I'll see you very soon in the next video. Thanks so much for being here. Have a great day. Bye.